Hi everyone, welcome to another episode from the Cotswolds Girl. Sorry if I look a little bit cack-handed today. I'm trying to sort of check my camera for different angles and things, and it now looks like I'm not looking at the camera, but I actually am. So I don't know. I'm going to get it figured out at some point, but bear with me. I am looking at you, trust me. I hope all is well. As you can tell, I've probably had a bit of a cold for the last couple of weeks. But just sort of getting there now, thank goodness. But it's very cold outside. I'm not coping all that well with the cold, as you can probably tell. But again, that's being an Aussie for you, and being in a different climate and time zone. So I'll adapt eventually, maybe in 10 years or so, maybe. But yeah, look, just coming to you, I guess, not with a bit of news, but just a bit of an update, and because I know I haven't done one of these videos for a little while. And look, I've posted a couple of blogs over the sort of Christmas New Year period, and it's all about, I guess, not not setting a New Year's resolution, because I think resolution actually has sometimes can have really negative connotations, and by negative it's more about, it's almost, yes, it's holding you to account, but it's almost like a KPI. It's almost like, if you don't hit it, then what? Do you know what I mean? And I think that, when we're all trying to, make improvements for the better, and you're making plans for the new year and everything, I don't think resolution is probably the right word, but it's more about intention. So I put down 10 intentions for 2026. And I think that for me, that sort of hits the mark a little bit more, just purely because if I've got an intention to do something, there's a willingness behind that. And it's not, oh, well, I have to do this and I have to do that, almost like you're at school. But it's saying that, my ultimate goal this year is to achieve that. If I'm working towards it by the end of the year, great. If I haven't achieved it, it's not that I've failed, it's just that I'm on a journey. And I think that's a really healthy way to look at it. So I've got a lot of intentions for this year, lots about growing this channel. Also a bit to do with doing other sort of TV shows and things, because I think you might remember in one of my last episodes, I explained that I had been filming over on the continent for a television show that's going to air in Australia this year. It's really exciting, and I'd really like to do more of that. So I've got a few applications in. We'll see. Sorry, 1 minute. Oh, I didn't want to sneeze in front of you. Anyway, back to it. So there's a few things that I'm sort of looking at with a couple of my friends that I met from that sort of TV show. So and I'm hopefully going to be doing a live with another really prominent YouTuber soon, which is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. And this particular YouTuber, she has really helped me start my channel, and has, we communicate pretty regularly. So that's really exciting too. So hopefully that'll be coming in the next couple of weeks, fingers crossed. I think that'll be talking all things to do with probably Harry and Meghan, and the absolute show that is, and some of the things that I've been thinking about, actually, in and around a lot of this hullabaloo that surrounds his security, and why now he wants to all of a sudden put things to rest and make amends. Like, I don't believe it for a minute at all. I do not believe it for a minute. There's always going to be something behind it with people like that. I know, because I've been dealing with these sorts of people most of my life. They just don't turn around and want to put things to bed. There's always a reason behind it. And I'm going to be sharing that with you all, and hopefully when we're on this live next week. So that will be really interesting. So please make sure I'll post details for that. Please make sure you tune in for that, because that will be great. But also just to kind of share a bit of an update, just in terms of all of the fertility stuff that I've been going through. Look, we've still got the papers in for Adoption West, so we're still looking at that, but we've sort of put the brakes on that a little bit, because after I moved jobs and gone in and started up the business this year, You know, we probably weren't really in a financial position to be sort of doing it, which again breaks my heart in some respects, but also practically speaking is probably the right thing to do. So anyway, so that's sort of been put on hold. But then in the meantime, over the last 6 months, I've had 6 of my friends, and I'm talking 6 in my immediate circle, all fall pregnant. Literally, all fall pregnant. They're all due anywhere between May and September next year. And I'm so happy for them. I'm so excited for them. It's absolutely wonderful. But it just feels like I'm just being constantly kicked in the guts. Like, it's just, you know, and the thing is, I explained this in my videos going back in the first few of my videos when I started talking about this whole journey that I've been going on. You know, 20 years ago when I was in my sort of early to mid 20s, and you know, I'd had a long-term boyfriend, and you know, all my friends were getting married and then starting having kids. It was all happening around me, like literally all happening around me, but never happening to me. And that was really hard to get through. It was so hard just emotionally and personally, but I got through it, and it is what it is. But now I find 20 years later that it's exactly the same thing is happening. It's literally history repeating itself. And I feel powerless to do anything about it. And I don't want to be that person. And I don't want to be that person that I was back then. I used to get so upset and so angry, and I used to take it out on my partner. And I used to get so pent up and so angry about it. And I think I've grown as a person after all of that, and having gone through all of that. And this time around it's very, very different, but it's still, you know, there's still an element of it does hurt a bit. And just because I want it so much, I think is probably where those feelings are guided from. And again, you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that negative person that always like, why, you know, is the world against me? You know, why is this not happening to me? Why is it happening to everyone else? Don't I deserve it? Why, you know, all that sort of, that just, you don't need inside your head, and you don't, you know, you don't want to carry forward. And yeah, as I said, you know, I'm so super happy for, you know, for everyone in my immediate circle, and especially, you know, for, I'm gonna be a first-time auntie, so that's exciting. But also for a couple of friends that have been going through a fertility journey as well, that, you know, are now properly pregnant, and, you know, will be having a baby this year. So that in itself just makes me feel so wonderful. But I'm still at a point where it's like, well, you know, is this now going to happen for me? This is probably, the next 6 months are probably my last chance. Like, I mean, I'm turning 46 in June. You know, there's a finite, you know, can't keep kicking the can down the road. There's a finite period of time when this can happen. And, you know, it's now, you know, this is like a last ditch effort. So, you know, I'm sort of dealing with a little bit of that. But look, as I said, I'm not going to put a negative spin on it, and it's all good. But anyway, so that's just a bit of a quick update about where things are at. I'm going to be doing some longer videos. For some reason, it just takes ages to upload from my mobile, so I'm going to try and work something out. Might get it on my laptop or start doing something like that. But yeah, so we'll do a few things like that. Oh, by the way, in the background, my brand new purchase, I've got a photo of Queen Victoria, and I absolutely love it. I got it off Vinted. It was like £8 or something, and it just is fantastic. So I've got a Queen Elizabeth hanging up on my wall as well. So I'm sort of gradually getting all the queens and sticking on brand. But yeah, look, check out Vinted. It's absolutely brilliant. I've just rediscovered it again. That's fantastic. So anyway, I hope you're all doing really, really well. Look out for my next blog, which is coming this week. And I will hopefully speak to you all soon. Enjoy your evening.